Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday California EDD question and answer live. Good morning, Linda. I have a couple of questions from my members that I'm going to get to first, and then your question will be up next. Okay. The first question is from Gabe. He says, if the weekly UI from EDD is 130 plus 300, and you work a 4-day contract gig, one-time job, Thursday through Sunday for $1,000, is that going to force you to reapply for UI or maybe even lose it altogether? I'm fine having it mean you don't get the 130 plus 300 for that week. Or is it 2 weeks? I'm just concerned about confusing the system and getting kicked off entirely. I've never known the EDD computer system to be a smooth ride. Isn't that the truth? However, this is just listing wages. Now, for contract work, that's usually considered self-employment. So you're actually going to list your net income. So if you have any expenses that you deduct from your taxes from that $1,000, whatever you're going to report out of that money essentially to the IRS, that is the amount that you're going to list the week that you get paid. And since you're only going to get paid once, they're not going to spread that out over a couple different payments. That should only lose you benefits for the 1 week, and then that will not affect your benefits long term, just that 1 week. And that 1 week, I would anticipate that you would get the excessive earnings warning and would not qualify for benefits for just that 1 week. Barbara says, last week when I certified, she had her job search details ready, but there was no screen to record that information. And then she had a notice that says that she's required to provide this information. What steps should I take to make sure my account is in good standing? Make sure to read your letters really carefully. Fed Ed claims actually do need to list it online, but for everybody else, it just asks that you record it, and you can do that in something like a little notebook. I gave some examples the other day because you can do work search activities like let a friend know you're looking for work or update your resume or something like that. And those all count, but those don't fit neatly into the EDD UI online account portal. Those kinds of work search activities are just going to be better in a notebook. Now, a lot of you are like, but Shelly, is it better to actually list it on UI online? Probably. But to do that, you are going to need to actually look and apply at specific places versus an activity. But it is optional for most claims, not Fed Ed claims, to either record it on your own in a notebook or with screenshots, or to fill it out on UI online. Okay. And then one more question. How does one check if they are on the Fed Ed extension or not? So you're going to log onto your UI online account. You are going to go to, it's been a while since I've been asked this, and I want to get into your questions. But basically, you're going to look into your claim history, transactions, and then it will tell you what program you're paid under when you look at your payment history. We'll do that later on in the live. I'll log on to my account and look at my claim history so that I can make sure I've still got that right. But basically look at your history, your transaction history, your payment history, and it will say Fed Ed, or it will say extension tier 2 or extension tier 2 augmentation or just UI. Okay. Oh, I see Nina in here. She wasn't in for a while. I hope that she's not back because there's problems with her claim, but I enjoy seeing her. She's PUA. What page can I fill job search? I did certify this morning. I got paid yet. Nothing changed. No work search. I always answer yes to looking for a job. Okay, so I bet that's a question a lot of you have as well. For PUA claims, they have said that they're not even going to start sending out the letters for your work search requirements until July 25th. So that's today that they would start sending out those letters that are going to arrive in the mail. And technically, your work search requirements, our individual work search requirements, don't start until we get those notices in the mail. Okay, I'm popping back up to Linda's question. And I'm so sorry I was running late this morning. I needed coffee, guys. Okay, Linda says, my friends on PEUC skipped the search list paid and got paid. Does choosing yes but filling that page out wrong in any way cause pending? It shouldn't. So really, guys, still what they're looking for is the yes answer to the question, did you look for work? And then that second page is optional for most claims. It's not optional for FedEd. FedEd does need to list it on their UI online account. They need to list where they applied. But for the other claims, you can hit no that you're just keeping track in a notebook, and that should be okay. And hitting no, it shouldn't cause any pending issues. It shouldn't cause any other issues. As long as you're answering yes, you should be okay. Good morning, little Rambo. This coffee is super hot. Okay. Manuel says, hey, Joel says, when I apply for jobs, it's usually for jobs that I'm underqualified for, management positions. Is it bad to apply for places I don't intend to work for? I'm doing it just so I comply for the EDD rules. Okay. So that depends. That is advice that I give. I'm going to say it depends, Joel. I can't remember in your specific situation. Do you have a job that you are going back to? Are you working part-time somewhere where you like working part-time and they're planning on putting you to full-time hours later? My big concern with that. So that's actually my advice kind of to people. If you do have a return to work date, if you know you're going to be going to full-time soon, my concern is that on September 4th, there's 13 million, almost 12 million unemployment claims in California. My concern is that benefits will end for most of us. It's just 6 weeks away now, guys. 6 more weeks of unemployment benefits. So 1 month and 2 weeks for a whole lot of us. And it is the extra 300 that ends. It is the PEUC extension tier 2, extension tier 2 augmentation. Those programs and PUA unemployment, all of those programs are completely going away September 4th, regardless of if you have a claim balance or not. So my concern is that come September 4th, there's going to be 12 million Californians looking for full-time work, and it's going to be much harder to get a job. That's my concern. I know everyone's situation is different. I know some people are still struggling with childcare and things like that. But if you don't have a job to go back to before then, I would recommend trying to look as hard as you can for jobs that will work for your situation now before you're competing against 12 million other people. Okay. Vanessa, hello. She says, are the EDD calling or contacting all the places where work searched for? I'm sure I filled it out right, but you just wonder if they truly follow. There's no way that they have the manpower for that. There's just no way. And on the flip side of that coin, people want to know, is the employer that you applied at, if they offer you a job, are they going to tell the EDD if they offered you a job and you didn't accept it for whatever reason? No, for sure, that's not going to happen, because your employer should not be asking you, or prospective employer should not be asking you if you are on unemployment. And if they do, that's really not their business. Now, there may be gaps in your work history on your application. So you may inadvertently give out that information. They may understand that you are on unemployment without you actually saying it. But unless you explicitly tell them, hey, I was getting unemployment benefits, they don't know your situation. So they're not going to be reporting to the EDD that they offered you a job and you didn't take it. I'm so sorry, guys. I need to get caffeinated. Savannah says she just wanted to say that if it wasn't for my videos, you wouldn't have gotten paid and you would have been evicted. Oh my goodness. That makes me so happy. You guys, I know that there's other unemployment channels, and with me and Jenny, I think we're the main two still. I know that there's others emerging, but we've been with you guys the whole time. I don't care if you pop in and watch her videos, as long as you guys are getting the help that you need to get you through this, that makes me happy. And if I've been able to help you or help keep you calm, that makes me feel good about what I've done with my time. All right. Thank you for sharing that. Z says, your pending payments switched to paid, but you still don't see the payments on my EDD card. Usually it only takes 24 hours. So like if they just switched to paid today, it wouldn't be there till tomorrow morning. Even if they switched to paid on Friday, it really should have been there Saturday, but give it till tomorrow morning to see if it loads onto your EDD debit card. Siegel says Siegel's a new subscriber, but I love seeing the name Siegel. Well, not that new anymore, but you applied online to websites. When you list these places where I looked for work, what do I put down for the name of person contacted, the website name, also for phone number? I don't have that information just blank. Yes. So if the method of contact was just online, then all you need to do is put the website that you went to. I have a screenshot of that on a community post from when I was doing that. And yeah, if you apply by phone, that's when they want the phone number. If you applied in person and you talk to someone, that's when they want the name of the person. So based on the method you apply is what information they need. So if you just apply online, you just put www.lamborghini.com or tesla.com or wherever online site you looked at. And if you go to their careers section at the bottom of their website and they're not hiring, you just put not hiring. So yeah, again, that would be really hard to follow through on the EDD side. And that's an easy way to do your work searches online. I'm sorry, I gotta do my AC, but I gotta adjust the fan. I'm a wreck this morning. Okay, let's see here. Pamela says, hello. Hello, Pamela. Okay, I'm bad. I don't know if it's an alligator or peace, love, crocodile. I feel like that's a saying, peace, love, alligator. I don't know. Anyway, Michael says, good morning. Thank you for dropping into Jenny's live stream. And can't wait for us to do a collab again. Yes, we are in the talks about that. We're both really busy right now. Jenny Silver just hit 70,000 subscribers, which is a big deal in the YouTube world. Like every 1,000 is is a big deal, and 70,000 is a lot of subscribers. But it's bittersweet. Like I just hit 30,000 subscribers, but that means that there's 30,000 of you and 70,000 of you that need help in California with your unemployment claims. So it's a little bit bittersweet, but it is something to be celebrated. So I'm so happy for her. That's awesome. Okay, Mike D says, you already did your 1 year and you got an award for another 6 months. Why am I still on PEUC and what happens to me after September 4th? So Mike, did you also get a 1277 letter? So for a lot of us, myself included, because I hadn't done any work since I first opened my unemployment claim, I didn't have enough wage history. It fails something called fail lag. So I didn't have any work. So I got the award letter. Actually, first I got the 1277 invalid claim letter. And if at any point you get that, that means you're staying on your old claim. And then after I got that letter, I got my award letter, but I don't qualify for a new award because I didn't do any work the whole year. So that might be why you're still on PEUC. And there is potentially a program if you were ever on regular unemployment and then went through the extensions called Fed Ed that might be available to us on after September 4th. But there's earnings requirements. It is tied into California's unemployment rate as well. Our unemployment rate needs to be above 6%. But based on the most recent numbers, which were 7.7%, it appears to be moving down by like 0.2% a month. And so I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know for sure what California's unemployment rate is going to be, but there's no way it's going to be below 6% by September 4th. So Fed Ed will be an option for some people, but not PUA unemployment claims. Ben says, do I need to worry about the DE 238 letter, PUA, and I didn't get a work search page when certifying? No list page will show up eventually. Yes, it most likely will show up eventually, or at least that little thing that asks you if you want to list your work search online or do you want to keep record in another way. For PUA claims, they said that they would start sending out the letters starting the week of July 25th. So starting this week, those physical letters that you're going to get in the mail are going to start going out. The DE 238 letter is a change in work search requirements notice. And the change is so minimal. So the wording for a lot of you used to be, you must be able and available to look for work. The new wording, the change that you're getting that notice because is it's adding one little sentence that says, you must be able and available to look for work, and you must search for work. So that it's just adding the and you must search for work line. Mine actually said that for most of my unemployment claim. So that's why I was listing 3 work searches a week. Because it basically said I had to. So I just did, even though I knew I was going back to my old job, because I was like, what if I find my dream job? So yeah, it'd be cool to find a dream job. All right, let's see. Hi, Bad Grandpa. You had to mail your application for the MEUC, and you was just wondering if I knew how long it would take for a response. I don't, but this is a great question. So the MEUC is the extra $100 boost for people who are on a regular unemployment claim, but they had both self-employment and W-2 wages. And they started having people apply. And if you haven't gotten your application to apply, your invitation to apply, call the EDD and ask them for that. Get them to send that to you if you think you'd be eligible for that program. Someone else asked me when I thought they'd be starting to add that $100. And I believe the deadline to submit your information, because to qualify for that program, you needed $5,000 in net unemployment income. So to qualify for that program, they gave you until July 30th to send that income data back to them. And so my guess is that they wouldn't even start sending out payments until after July 30th. So Bad Grandpa, I kind of think after July 30th is when you'll hear back on that. But I know that since you were one of the people that had to reach out to get that invitation, and because you're doing it via mail instead of via upload, maybe, I know you're not going to like this. I don't like it. So you could also try using Ask EDD or Contact Us, but maybe like on the 28th or 29th, maybe call to make sure that they received that. Also, I do recommend anytime you're sending anything via mail, especially something like that, maybe send it certified mail. You already mailed it, so I don't know if that happened or not, but probably if you're going to choose to mail it, that's what I'd recommend. Okay. Jillian says, often on online applications asked if we were on unemployment in the last year. I don't think that's a legal question in the state of California. I don't. If we choose no, because we don't want them calling the EDD, is this not wise? Can these places call the EDD? I honestly don't think it's legal to even ask that in the state of California. That seems very odd, unless there's like a tax benefit program, unless they're doing work share. I would just put yes. They're not going to, the employers are also not going to take time to call the EDD. And let me look at that. I want to make sure I'm telling you guys the truth. Can an employer ask if you were on unemployment? I am not a fast typer. Okay. Unemployed status, blah, blah, blah. Federal law does not prevent employers from asking about unemployed status, but the federal EEO laws do prohibit using this information to discriminate. So yeah. Well, so yeah, they can't use it to discriminate. I can already tell. This is from Tommy Thompson. Thank you for the donation. You just completed helping someone sign up for PUA this week. Talk about late date. Start date 12/6/2020. A lot of people couldn't wade through the EDD process. We'll keep trying with a couple more people. Well, I'm glad you started the process with them, and I hope that they get all their money in back pay. Good morning, Toya. I am going, oh shoot, I just accidentally skip places. So that means take a moment, please, and like the video. I'm going to go ahead and double check that I'm telling you guys exactly correctly on how to find out if you're Fed Ed or not. And Christian says, how does the look for work function? What do you do? What do I recommend? If you can, it's really easy to go to a website of a company you love, like Tesla, or maybe you love makeup and you want to work at Sephora. Maybe you want to be an editor at Sony Pictures. I don't know. But whatever your dream job is, go to that website. So if you want to work at Sephora, may not be a dream job. For some people, it is. Scroll to the bottom of the website, go to the careers section, see if they're hiring. That, and then go ahead and list it on UI Online. That's going to be the easiest way. Or if you want to do work search activities, just keep track of it in a notebook so that if the EDD ever asks you for it, you have it handy. And yes, my notebook has pickles on it. I love pickles, and it was a gift from my roommate. Okay. I want to go to EDD, and I want to tell you guys for sure as I'm logging in, watch it, won't let me, it'll be overloaded, exactly how to find out what program you're on, because it's been a while since that question has come up. So I want to just make sure I'm telling you guys correctly about that. I'll try and type faster. And I'm going to drink a little coffee. Chad says, nice to see me. Oh, question. I skipped whatever your first question is because now I'm skipping around while I do this. When September 4th rolls around, will I still be able to collect my regular UI after the $300 boost ends? Only get low amount, but need those benefits. So only if you're truly on regular UI. All of the extensions end, but if you were ever on regular UI, you also would potentially be eligible for Fed Ed if you meet the earnings requirements. As I take this drink of coffee, remind me to say two things about Fed Ed in a second. The first thing on Fed Ed is that if you are on an extension, not a new claim, and you've already had Fed Ed on your claim, you can only get it once per claim. So you wouldn't get Fed Ed again. Then the other thing about Fed Ed is if the EDD already checked previously to see if you qualified for Fed Ed and you didn't, you wouldn't, dang it, I hit previous on my login. This sucks. Okay. Then you wouldn't qualify for it this time either, unless something had kind of like drastically changed with your earnings since they first checked to see if you were eligible. Okay. I'm just skipping around. I'm logging on because I know a lot of people want to know how to find out if they have a Fed Ed claim or not. So, okay, I'm going to focus for 2 seconds. Okay, log in, not previous. Now, except for when the site's freezing, I do normally choose UI Online, even when I'm doing it from my mobile. But, oh, Tommy, did you give me another donation? Thank you, Tommy. If I didn't already, thank you for the donation. Okay. Daxco says, ID me won't let me log in. Requested for password reactivation. Nothing. Please help. So the best thing to do with ID.me is reach out to their CEO, Blake Hall, on Twitter. He is very responsive on there, and that's the best way to get assistance with that process. Okay. Register or manage my existing claim because I'm not getting EDD anymore. Johnny says, I'm still pending since 7/10/2021. This is something, and I've got 200, I just lost somebody, but I've got 200 of you in here. So I am not sure. That's in regards to this automatic payment if you've been pending 2 weeks or more. But how is the EDD counting that pending? If I certify today and I instantly have 2 weeks pending starting tomorrow, is that how the EDD is counting the 2 weeks pending that they're automatically releasing the payments on? Or does the EDD not count the 2 weeks of pending until 2 weeks from when I certified, and I've actually been waiting 2 weeks for my money. That is a concern for me. Jenny Silver did an interview with the attorney that filed the movement that actually is prompting the EDD to make those automatic payments. And she said that if you can, try and wait the full 2 weeks from when you get stuck on pending. I know that then that means like almost a month of no money. Okay. So on mine, I'm going to go, and I think it's different on UI Online, but to check what type of claim you have, I'm going to go to view payment activity at the bottom after I log in. And I'll just go to my most recent. I'm going to show you guys all that. I'm going to go to details. Wow. Let's see. Details. And then transaction details. And then there's a blue link up at the top where it says view. We're going to click this. Oops. View the details. Oh my goodness. Why is it doing this? Why isn't it showing me? Maybe you have to do it online to see your program. Hold on. Transaction details, transaction type, reductions, additions, payment issued. Error occurred. All right, well, you're supposed to be able to go to your transactions to find out which program you're on. That's going to drive me nuts. All right, I will follow up on. I do have a video on how to figure out what kind of program you're on. Anyway, so I'll link that video in the description down below later. Okay, now I'm going to try and scroll up to where I left off. Oh, hi, Andy. Laura says, do I know if unemployment will be extended? That's a good question. And so I will go ahead and try and address that. I don't think that's the plan that they're going on. It definitely doesn't have support on the federal level. And I don't think California has enough to pay 12 million people benefits past when the programs end on September 4th. Now, Fed Ed might be an option for some people if they qualify, but PUA applicants are not eligible. And what they're really doing is they seem to be pushing getting the, I don't want to say it because I don't want to get demonetized. So let's just do this. This is their, they want us to all do that so that we can go back to work, especially with the recall election. A lot of people were really angry at how long California was shut down. And so with a recall election looming, I don't think that the governor is going to want to risk shutting everything down again. And it doesn't seem like the federal government wants to require states to shut down. So I don't think they're going to extend it, unfortunately. Okay. Casper Ghost, thank you for the donation. You got your balance extension. That's awesome. You certified and everything went smoothly. Thank you for the help, and you're glad you called. I'm glad too. So you called, you got through. I know you used Claimer, and he was missing his certification button. So it's totally normal for your claim balance to hit 0. And sometimes it even says maximum benefits paid. And it usually will say that right up until your next certification date. But in Casper's case, he didn't see that message where he had the date where he could certify again. And unfortunately, that is one of those things where you would still need to call the EDD. If your button is missing for you to certify for benefits, unfortunately, you do still need to call. But I'm glad that you called in advance and that you certified and everything went okay. Okay. Where am I? Maribel says, my 20 weeks have been paid, but there are weeks I haven't been able to certify from April 18th to current. It has no certify for benefits to click to be able to certify what do I do. In that case, if it's all the way back from April 18th, I know a lot of people are over calling. So I'm going to like stress that a little bit less and just go right for what seems to work for a lot of people, which is emailing your assembly member. And I do have the link on how to do that in the description of the video. So you'll email your assembly member and ask them for help. Say, hey, I haven't had the option to certify for benefits since April 18th. Is there anything you can help do so that I can start certifying and getting paid again? Make sure to use the term financial hardship. I'm experiencing financial hardship since I haven't received benefits in so long. You could call, and maybe the phone lines are a little bit less jammed up now that the EDD started paying people automatically. But yeah, reaching out to your assembly member is a really good option. Astika, just can you still get benefits after your year ends? Yes, a couple different ways. If your benefit year ends before September 4th, they should, if you don't qualify for a new claim, they should enroll you into an extension that takes you through at least the week ending September 4th. If, when your benefit year ends, you qualify for a whole new claim, then you would get benefits on that whole new claim. So those are the two ways to get benefits after your year ends. Sharon says, what if I am waiting for a phone interview and I spent the money and they determine I'm not eligible? I have to pay the money back. Potentially, but don't try not to worry about that, because if they pay you and you're waiting for that phone interview and they decide that you're not eligible for benefits, there are a lot of overpayment waivers. Well, not a lot, but like you can request an overpayment waiver. And if the EDD is automatically paying you until you have your phone determination interview, that would be no fault of your own that you received that money while you were waiting on the phone determination interview. And what's the other thing I wanted to say about that? Waiting on your phone determination interview. And if it would cause you a financial hardship to pay that money back, that's also something that they consider when they're authorizing an overpayment waiver. And if you genuinely got overpaid and you want to pay them back, you could set the money aside to pay them back when they ask for it, or set up a payment plan if you didn't want to request a waiver on that overpayment. Lane says, how many work searches can we list? Well, it depends. If you're listing it online, I don't think any claim is required to list more than 3 a week. If you're doing it in a notebook, I had one of my viewers say that they're looking for 8 jobs a week. And I know a lot of people, when they're really looking hard, might apply for that many. The EDD isn't going to require that, but funny story, towards the end, you guys know that I had said that I was listing work search activities and places that I applied almost the whole time I was on unemployment. I didn't like the last 2 certifications. So for about a month, because I had a return to work date, so I knew for sure that I was going back to work. And so then I stopped listing where I was applying. But so for almost a whole year, I listed the places I applied. And towards the end of the year, I forgot where I had applied and where I hadn't. And rather than looking back on your certifications and seeing where you got, where you applied, it would just be easier if I would have just kept it in a notebook from the beginning. So if you're applying, you can apply to 20 places, you can apply to 100 places, but keep track just for your own record so you remember where you applied and where you didn't. And then you would have that handy for the EDD if they ever asks as well. Will says, when all the extensions end September 4th, can we still certify on the 5th? Yes. Also, it will be Labor Day, so perhaps delays in payments. Oh my God. Is that real? That's Labor Day weekend. All right. So every holiday, right? The banking's supposed to be automatic. So it's really not supposed to cause any delays in your payment. It really should just happen automatically. But every holiday, it seems like the payments stay pending for 1 extra day. So if your payments are pending an extra day after certifying on September 5th, that's probably normal. I cannot believe that. I hate hate the EDD. All right. T. Morris says, I say the same thing to the people still trying to get their money from EDD and still trying to get a PS5. Don't give up. Yeah. Don't give up. Freddie says, I tried to certify this morning, but I have a notification that says I have weeks to certify to be considered timely. Certify the weeks by 8/18. I don't really understand. So most people certify every Sunday, but basically you don't have to certify today. You could just choose to certify 2 weeks from now, and that would still be considered timely. All the way up until August 18th on those certifications would be considered timely. Michael says, you got a work search notice. What if the job paid lower than my part-time seasonal? So if you accept that job, you would just certify and then tell the EDD how much you made each week. You can still certify for benefits even once you get a new job. And if the hours aren't as much or it's not as much money as you were previously making, you might still qualify for some unemployment benefits. So it is worth it to certify for a little bit, in my opinion. And then you don't necessarily have to take that job if you don't like it, or you can take that job and still continue to look for other jobs. It's really up to you. Estika says, I certified last night and it says paid. Will my payment be on hold? No, you're paying. It's good if it says paid. So that should be on if you've already received your Bank of America EDD debit card, that should be on there tomorrow. If you haven't, if this is like your first time certifying and you don't have your EDD debit card yet, it's going to take 10 business days from the day that it says paid, which would be today. So 10 business days from today, when you'll receive that Bank of America card that will be loaded up with the funds. Vippy Sue says, they broke my account, switching me back and forth from a new claim to tier 2 extension, 6 escalations to manager since the end of May. Senator says she needs to wait and paid $100 to claimer. I'm so sorry. Don't spend any more money on claimer. That sounds like it really has gotten very messy. So in your situation, I think I would recommend just waiting, or you can try using Ask EDD or contact us. I wouldn't spend any more money. And hopefully they're able to help you and you get paid soon. And welcome new member King. Okay. Chad says, hello. Ursula says, unless a miracle takes place and they extend unemployment, which I'm not sure that they will. Stephanie says, it didn't ask for my work search, but I saw the work search pop up, but it went away. So I still got paid even though I put in the work search. So really, again, what they're looking for is that yes answer to did you look for work? And as long as you guys do that, that should be okay. Michael says, can I use job search requirements the last 2 weeks? Then I can put in for 8/1. You're not supposed to, but would the EDD know if you change the date? Probably not, but that, just so you know, that's dishonest. You're supposed to list. So if you're certifying today, the 25th, for the 18th through the 24th, your work search activities were supposed to have occurred the 18th through the 24th. Would they know if it's some job that you applied for a month ago and you just put that you applied for it today? Probably not, but I do not encourage you guys to be dishonest. So that's that. Okay. Mary Bell says, I'm PUA. You had 20 weeks pending due to ID verification. Then you were disqualified and finally got cleared once I sent through my mail your copies to verify. You were disqualified after. Appeal that, but please know that the appeal process does take about 6 months. Or you could call the EDD and let them know the situation and see if you can avoid the appeal process. But yeah, if you sent those documents, you should not be disqualified. You could also enlist the help of your assembly member to help them get your claim moving along. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Red Need says, my 9 weeks is still pending since they say I'm on annual review. I really hope I get paid because I need to pay my bills. Hopefully you'll be one of the people to get the letter that gets automatically paid soon. Everybody does go through quarterly review. but that should be one of the things that's automatically coming off and getting paid automatically. The pay now policy. Carlos says, I'm on extension tier 2 and PEUC, right? Yes, extension tier 2 is PEUC, is one of the versions of the PEUC extension. That is not Fed Ed. D said, I qualified for a new claim in April and received an email from the EDD that I have to be available and looking for work. Will I receive a separate letter in the mail? I also work part-time. Yes, most likely you will receive a new DE 238 letter, and that will say update to work search requirements. And it's going to add one additional little phrase that will say, and must look for work. And I do recommend at least answering yes to the question, did you look for work? The EDD wants everybody to be looking for full-time work, even if you're working part-time. Oh, Andy, that's right. Andy has a job interview tomorrow, and it's a job that he wants. So that is great. You certified today. It didn't ask you for the work searches. You did keep track of it in a notebook just in case they ask. That's perfect, Andy. And good luck on that job interview tomorrow. Chad says, I'm still pending for 2 weeks since 7/4 and wondering when I will be going from pending to paid status. I certify again on August for the next 2 weeks. Thanks so much. So again, I talked about this a little bit earlier. So the EDD has said that they are supposed to start automatically paying claims that have been pending for more than 2 weeks. What the EDD hasn't said is how they're counting that 2 weeks. So if I certify today and my 2 weeks that I just certified get stuck pending, does that count as having 2 weeks pending? Or do they start the clock on those 2 weeks today and they're not even going to think about automatically paying me until 2 more weeks, until I've actually had a pending status on my claim for 2 weeks? Because even if you, like, as far as the EDD knows, if we certify today and you stay pending on 2 weeks, the EDD, that pending notice only shows up today. You know what I mean? I hope so. I hope I explained that right. So basically the advice is if you can afford to wait for 2 weeks to see if they switch it to paid. And I know in your case, you're almost at 3 weeks pending, but they just announced this program. So hopefully they automatically switch you to paid. But for some people that last week when they certified just got stuck on pending, it may be another week, depending on how the EDD counts your pending status before you're even registered in the system as someone who's been pending 2 weeks. Okay. Laura wants to know, I started unemployment on 4/4 and I was wondering if my benefits end on 9/4. If you had a fresh brand new claim on 4/4, unemployment benefits last 26 weeks. So I don't think you'd be at the end of your 26 weeks on 9/4. I want to say that would be like the end of October or the beginning of November for you. I actually just looked at that because some of my employees qualified for a new claim. I don't think they were supposed to have, but somehow they did. So they are on new unemployment claims. And they got furloughed back in March. So that's when their benefit year ended and they filed new claims. And I just counted for them. They're going to have some benefits into October. So you're a few weeks after them. So end of October, beginning of November is when your benefits should continue through. Steven said, I'm so confused. I certified and do the same thing I would always do. But does that mean I have to show that I'm working? I'm not sure how to do that if it doesn't ask me. Just keep track in a notebook. Just say, I applied to this place on this date. I updated my resume on this date. I told Shelly's Millions in the comments that I'm looking for work and could she please keep an eye out for jobs I might be qualified. That would all count as work search, and you can just keep track in a notebook. Unless you're Fed Ed, then you need to actually list it. We talked about this a little bit, but I don't think unemployment benefits going to be extended. I think they're going to encourage people to get I can't say it on YouTube. I think that's one of the things that flags a video. So I'm just going to point and do that and make weird faces, apparently. They're really going to push that instead of trying to extend benefits or shut things down again. Rich, thank you for stopping by and wishing me a happy Sunday. Are you playing baseball today? You can go to church and play baseball? No, well, you're not going to go to church and play baseball. But you're going to play baseball and then go to church or after? Or you're just going to watch baseball? I don't know. All right. Lisa, hi. I haven't seen you here in a while either. I got that you need to search for work letter after I hit the optional search, another way button last week. Next week when I certify, I'm going to input on UI Online so I don't have any problems. Yeah, that's going to be the 100% best way, is listing your work searches online. I think it's going to be totally fine to just answer, no, I'm keeping track in another method. But I do think that if you can go ahead and list it online, that would be only very slightly a better idea than keeping track in a notebook. It is optional though, unless you're on a FedEd claim. Brett says, thank you for the info. You would have been lost without me and Jenny. You are very welcome. Got that new, the new work search letter should only be coming in the mail. And then there's a new work search screen when you certify that asks if you want to list your work searches on your UI Online account or if you're keeping record in a different manner. Not everyone has received the letter yet. Like, especially for PUA claims, they've said that they might not even send those out until the week starting July 25th, which is today. So for a lot of PUA claims, you guys have not even received your letter yet. And probably some regular UI claims haven't either. So if you haven't received the letter, it is probably on the way. Joe says, I don't get how it's over a year later and it's still a mess. Shelly's out here doing God's work. I don't either. It's so crazy. You guys, there's 250 of you. So one, please like the video. Two, I named the channel Shelly's Millions because I thought I was going to talk about finance. Like, I bought my own house as a single woman. I've never been married. I didn't inherit daddy's money. My mom is still broke. If I ever do get to be a millionaire, it's probably only going to be on paper because I have some equity in the house. So it's not like money I have in the bank. But I thought I was going to like encourage people to go out and live the American dream and buy property and like be financially secure and be able to actually be able to retire comfortably when they're old. I wanted to be like the female version of Graham Stephan. Like, I wanted to be a finance channel. That's why I was like, Shelly's Millions. And now, can I just tell you how odd it feels to be like, hi, welcome to Shelly's Millions. And I'm talking about unemployment? Like, that's so bizarre. I would have never thought when I started the channel that I'd still be talking about this. And this is a good time to say, people are like, I just did that claimer video. People are like, claimer sucks and they're predatory and they're taking advantage of people on unemployment. I blame the EDD. Like how have they not gotten it together after this long? There shouldn't be a need for my channel. There shouldn't be a need for Jenny Silver's channel. There shouldn't be a need for Claimer. The EDD should be able to handle their you know what, and they can't. But thank you. Thank you for that. It really is unbelievable. Okay, Albert says, you were on tier 2 and your balance is at 0 as of last week. How long do I have to wait before they update my 29-week extension before I see a new balance? 2 weeks. Your claim balance is going to stay at 0 all the way until you certify again in 2 weeks. And then that's when your claim balance is going to increase. That's when your claim balance is going to increase. And it may even say maximum benefits paid. That would also be normal. You shouldn't need to call. That should happen automatically. And it will be a good sign if you see the next date you can certify again. But that may take about 4 or 5 days. And you should also get a letter either by mail or by text or in your UI Online messages notifying you of the next extension. Min says hello. Michael saying both emails and mail that he got the work search. Okay, Trip says, what does NA mean on the week payment? That usually happens when you only have enough funds to cover 1 week on your unemployment claim. as they're switching you from one extension to the next. If you have a claim balance still and the second week says NA, that is normally because 1 week is within your benefit year and the other week is not within your benefit year. The EDD has said for some people, if you don't have any wages in the last 18 months, that they will automatically see if you qualify for an extension and keep you on it. But one of the ways to tell if they're going to do that is by having you file a new claim. So really, I'm still recommending when your benefit year ends, trying to file a new claim. If it lets you, then you need to file a new claim. If it doesn't let you, then it means that you don't need to file a new claim. Okay. Katie says, just filed for the last 2 weeks and was not required to enter the 3-job search part. Says I can keep record of it on your own. Yep, absolutely. It's optional unless you're on FedEd, and you can just get yourself a handy little notebook. Maybe yours will not be as awesome as mine, because my guy's dancing too, my little pickle guy. But get a notebook and keep track of the notebook, and then give the EDD your pickle notebook. If they ever ask, you would probably take pictures of your work search or like scan the individual pictures of a notebook. You would not don't send your whole notebook. Make copies if they ever ask, and then scan or fax those or whatever. Hopefully they won't ever ask. Motown says about to certify. Good luck. Giovanni says you're still pending since 7/10. And again, I tend to think that is because even though you're showing 2 weeks pending, that pending notice doesn't pop up until 7/10. And so probably just now this week is when the EDD is realizing that you've been pending for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? That's a theory though. Okay, Freddie says, I should certify today, but I have notifications that say to certify on the weeks by the 18th. I don't really understand. So certify today. It's just saying like you don't actually have to certify. This is something that comes up sometimes when the EDD web page won't load and you can't certify. People are like, oh my goodness, what if I can't certify on Sunday? You have all the way until August 18th to certify, and this would still be considered on time to certify for this week. But yeah, just certify for this week, and then it'll advance over to the next 2-week certification. I think everybody's just like really looking at their claims right now because they're worried about the work search, and so you guys are noticing all this weird stuff that like has probably always been there, but you guys are just now noticing for the first time because everybody's really aware. Okay, our tennis, I just tried to find it. It used to be under transaction history, but the stupid EDD updated their work search. I'm going to try one more time to see. Oh, here we go. Okay. I did the drop. Here we go. Please don't be logged out yet. Come on. It's loading now. History. There we go. Please, please, please. Let's go to the last time it was paid. There we go. Why wasn't this there before? That's so weird. Okay. Claim history. Scroll to the right. And then, so the last time I was paid, I have to go down a little bit. Then you're going to click transactions. It is claim history and transactions. This is so crazy. All right. Does this have any of my personal information? It does not. Okay. So there was a blue link that said transactions that I clicked. So I went to claim history, and then on the right, so I had to scroll. There was a thing that said transactions, and then you click that blue link, and this is where it shows you your program type, extension tier 2. So extension tier 2, that's not FedEd. That is one of the PEUC extensions. That was the third PEUC extension. Yes. Oh, no. That's the second PEUC extension. If this was the third PEUC extension, it would say PEUC tier 2 augmentation. So this one, I would still have the option of putting it in a notebook. So that's exactly where program type. And again, I got there by logging on to my UI Online account, going to claim history. Then under claim history, I scrolled to the right and hit transactions. And that's where it's going to show your program type. That is where it would say Fed Ed if you were on Fed Ed. Most of you guys are not going to be on Fed Ed. So for most of you guys, if you want to just keep track in a notebook or by taking screenshots, that would be totally okay. All right. Okay. Motown. Motown loves Jenny Silver. All right, that's fine. Oh. Somebody once said that they wanted to see Jenny Silver and I do like a wrestling. You guys, I lost my place, which means please take a moment and like the video. And we're almost at the hour mark. So I'm going to start randomly taking questions instead of going in order. So let's start with riches. Not to be a downer, but I see something happening with some sort of lockdown. Starts with the mask mandates and then escalates to more mandates. So here's the thing, Rich. This is really good, but I just talked about this. I don't know if you heard it. They're really pushing this. I can't say it on YouTube because they'll mess with my channel, like demonetize it. So they're pushing everybody doing this. Okay. With the Gavin Newsom recall, the governor, that's the word I was trying to find. With the governor recall election for Gavin Newsom, he came under a lot of criticism for shutting California down to the extent that he did. It made a lot of people angry. And I have to be honest, I think that it put a lot of small businesses out of business. I think that because of how long, and I think that was, I don't know, man. I don't think this was an easy decision to shut down, to not shut down. I don't envy the politicians that had to make this choice, right? Because on the one hand, you have try and keep people safe. On the other hand, you have try and keep businesses open from closing, right? That also keeps people safe when they have a steady income that they can rely on, right? But since really the goal is to keep businesses safe, to keep the economy safe so that people can feed their families, but it's also still to keep people's health safe, they're focusing on this instead of more shutdowns. If Gavin Newsom decides to shut California down again, it's bad, right? In terms of his recall election, because it's still going to make a lot of people angry. There are a lot of people in California, maybe even some of you guys watching right now, that did not support the shutdown. There's still a lot of people that don't want this for whatever reasons, for whatever personal reasons. I think I'm going to share something with you guys, and maybe this will make you guys not like the channel, but I'll risk it. You guys know that I was saying, all right, Daniel, I'll get your question next. Don't give me any more donations. Can you ask it again though in the chat? You guys know that I was like, my mom's never going to be able to get the vaccine because she is very allergic to everything. She actually has had one dose now, and she's going back for her second dose. Basically, when this new strain came through, I got really scared because she is really wanting to go back into the world. She just wants to go to the grocery store. She's really excited that the senior center is going to reopen and she wants to see her friends. And she's so adorable. She's like, what if my friends won't sit with me because I didn't do the thing? She's like, what if they're scared of me? And so she has had some vaccines in the past, and her allergic reactions have not been as severe to vaccines as she is to pills. She's very allergic to a binder in pills, the sulfur or sulfa or whatever, like makes a pill all stick together and be able to swallow it. Those are the things she's really allergic to. She's been successful at having like surgeries. So like, I don't know, things that she can poke in, she seems to handle a little bit better. She did have a few, she felt a little nauseous after the first shot, but that was it. Uh-oh. I sound like a Donald Trump supporter. What? Anyway, yeah, so my mom was nervous to get it. I was nervous for her because she really does have a lot of allergies. Her doctor was even like not like pushing her to get it. But she did decide to get it. And she's actually coming over tomorrow to get her second dose. And she's more nervous about that because her friends have told her that the side effects are worse on that second one. So we'll see, but she's getting it. She was fine the first time. I don't know, whatever. We had to do it in the hospital though. We almost had to do it in the emergency room because they were nervous to do it for her as well. But anyway, she got it. And I feel a little bit better about that. And I'm glad that we did it when we did with things going as they are. Okay. Fireworks. We should start another fireworks in July. My neighborhood has fireworks year round. I will answer Teenager, and then I'm also going to answer Daniel. He says, I went to certify after 2, and after it says maximum benefits paid, and I got a message from UI saying I'm eligible for PEUC extension, but I wasn't able to certify this morning. So that's the same thing that had been happening to Casper Ghost. I don't know if you were in the chat earlier. So if your certification button is missing, I hate to say this, but you need to call to have them add that button. Sundays are usually a really bad day to call and get through. If you can wait till Tuesday to make that phone call, your chances of getting through to the EDD are going to be a lot better. And again, I recommend calling between 8 a.m. and 8:15 a.m. right when they first open, or later in the afternoon from 2:30, to 4 p.m. For some people, it's still working to quickly hit 134 after the long intro message. Obviously, that doesn't work every time, but it's still kind of worth a shot. So just dial the regular 833. Oh, did I forget the number? 978-2511. Dial that number. 8 a.m. to 8:15 or 2:30 to 4. Tuesday through Saturday are better days. Because you're going to need to call them to have them add that on. Or you could try using Ask EDD, or you could try using Contact Us. But I know all three of those options are kind of a joke. I do still have my claimer code. Oh, it's not. I usually pin it, but I was like, everybody's going to get paid that's been pending, so they don't even need it anymore. It is pinned, it's in the description of the video down below if you want to use them to call and get through. Okay, let's find Tanagiers. I don't think I'm saying the name right. Uh-oh. Hi, Trina. You're already on an extension. You're 0. Will they renew my benefits, or do I have to reapply? They should renew them until September 4th. Uh-oh. Sean, I don't know. Sean, you're so funny, though. Sean, one day I have to tell you, because Sean, you commented on the collaboration video I did with my friend Grant over on his channel, and then I did one with him on my channel. He's a legit millionaire. And you were like, how is she a millionaire and she's on unemployment? First of all, I'm not a millionaire. Second of all, the equity in my house just went up is really the bottom line. And I've been saving in my 401k since I was like 21. Because I grew up very poor, so I knew I wasn't going to have anything for retirement unless I did it on myself. My family's very small. It's just my mom, basically, and she right now lives in a trailer. We had our own trailer at one point, and we couldn't even make the payments on that. We lost our trailer, and we moved into my grandma's trailer. My grandma has now passed on, and my mom lives in my grandma's trailer. If she wouldn't have had, and she's welcome to live with me at any point that she wants, she just does not want to live with me. But anyway, so most of my wealth comes from the equity in my house. And of course, that's only worth anything when you go to sell or potentially refinance your house. But could a millionaire get unemployment? Absolutely. If they lost their job, and millionaires actually, a lot of them have their own businesses, so they probably got unemployment benefits and applied for like PPP loans. Also, let's say I'm a millionaire, and let's say that I have a spouse who maybe they're like a kept man or something. I don't. I wish. And also, I cannot afford to keep a man. But let's just go with this example. Let's say I'm a millionaire and I'm making all the big bucks, but my spouse works they have like some fun job that they like to do. Maybe they want to work at Victoria's Secret because they want to get me the discount and buy me stuff from there, right? So they work there on the weekends to get a discount to buy me stuff. And this is like a crazy example, but whatever. And then Victoria's Secret closed because of the shutdown. That the kept husband, could absolutely get unemployment benefits, even if I was like a multimillionaire. So bet my word, I'm going to try and find this. I'm fascinated by this kind of stuff, like how many people were actually millionaires and also collected unemployment benefits. But so yes, Sean, but you're funny, Sean, because you're like, how rude that they said you're a Donald Trump supporter. But then you're like, is she lying? Because she says she's a millionaire, but she was also on unemployment. People, I'm sure there are people who are both. I'm not a millionaire yet, though. I just got lucky and had some equity in my house. I'm still looking for this comment when it goes from pending to received. Received just normally means that they have received your certification. Trina, you're welcome. I'm trying to find this comment that you guys said to answer the comment. Hi, Ernie. Oh, did I say did I say it? Whatever. All right. See, Sean, you're funny. Like 1 minute you're mad at me and then the next minute you're not. Tony says, will they pay out everyone who's been pending? I've been stuck on pending for over 10 weeks. So full disclosure, I found this out from watching Jenny Silver's interview that she did with Daniela, who is one of the, I think she's an attorney that helped actually, it's not a class action lawsuit, but she helped put the process in motion to get all these pending claims paid now conditionally. So they have until September 30th to get all the claims paid. And they do mention that some claims are going to take more time to get paid than others. So it should be everyone that's pending, but there are some people who may kind of like fall through the cracks. Oh, T-Tiger is asking me to go back up and answer T-Tiger. T-Tiger, where's your question? Do you have the timestamp, T-Tiger? How many questions did I miss? Okay, you guys, if I did skip your question, oh, I found it. If I did skip your question though, because I am at the point in this live where I'm just kind of skipping around, ask it again. Like wait 15 minutes between posting your question, but go ahead and ask it again. So if I ever skip your question, rather than being like, Shelly, you skipped me, just be like, Shelly, you skipped me, and here's my question. You can call me out for skipping your question, but ask it again, please. Okay, but wait 15 minutes before doing that. Okay, T says, they asked me, did I want to still work for them? I said yes on 7/20, and on 7/21, they sent me a letter saying I voluntarily terminated. I would call that company and say, actually, better yet, I would email that company, because that way you'll have a written trail. They can't go back on their word. And I'm so mad about that. Like, that's shady. And I'm sorry that that happened to you from your former employer. So what I would do is I would email your employer and I would say, hey, I don't know where you worked. I don't know if that information is in there. Let's call it Tesla, because I like using Tesla as the work example. Email them, dear Tesla, I was recently contacted by Shelly, manager Shelly, and she asked if I wanted to come back to work, and I said yes. Give those dates. I said yes on 7/20. So I am confused about why I received a letter the next day stating that I voluntarily quit. Please let me know what to expect and when I can expect to return to work. Like, that's crazy. So email your employer so that you can have their response in writing, and so that at least, even if they ignore you and they don't respond to your email, you can show that I would do it today, that on 7/25 you sent an email to that employer letting them know that you did want to go back. That's so shady, because we're kind of doing something similar with our employees. We're saying, hey, are you ready to come back to work yet? And they're If they say, no, I'm not ready, we're like, well, do you want to continue to work? Are you planning on returning? And some of them are like, yes, but just not quite yet. I don't feel comfortable yet. And that's fine. But we're not like, unless they say point blank, no, I'm not planning on returning. Even then, we're not reporting it to the EDD. Like, we're not messing with anybody's life. We're not messing with their benefits. Just if they've told us that they're not planning on returning, we do take them off of, like, because I think companies pay like payroll insurance on each employee that works for them. So we do, like, but we include, because we get it in writing, like their response to the email that we sent out, like with them saying, no, I don't plan on returning. That's so crazy. I'm so sorry, T. Okay. Tommy, thank you again for the donation. Karen, great comment about the state of EDD that me, Jenny, and Claimer and senators are needed. Yeah, like that's the thing, because I have made money off the YouTube channel. I got to be upfront about that, and it's kind of cool. Jenny's made money off her YouTube channel. I don't think the poor senators are just getting their regular pay. Claimer's making money. They absolutely are. But I don't blame Claimer. Claimer saw a need and they filled it. It just sucks because a lot of us on unemployment don't have the funds. We're not those millionaire wives or husbands that I was like making an example about. Like, most of us don't have extra money sitting around, so it seems predatory, and that sucks. But yeah, like if the EDD was doing their job to begin with, they would not need us. That's the bottom line. Okay, Susan, just certified, keep my own records. Got paid just now. Yes, that is awesome. And that makes me really happy. Nina, your benefit year ended 9/4. I still have a claim balance. Can I continue to certify? No, not on an old claim. And 9/4 benefit year, I think you have a PUA unemployment claim. And unfortunately, the entire PUA program does disappear the week ending 9/4. Sean says, do I know much about unemployment in other states? I know someone who got involuntarily quit, but they called in sick and got a letter saying they owe unemployment back. Sean, I don't know a lot about unemployment in other states, but I know you have my Instagram. So if you want to send me like a message on Instagram and let me know what state they're in, I don't guarantee how quickly I'll be able to do this, but I'll try and look into it. Okay. Yaz says, I am in this grandfather claim, 2-week pending. Do you think I would get paid on this conditional term? 0 earnings since June of 2019. So Yaz, this is a great question. And this is something I've said. Here's what the EDD hasn't been clear on. So you have 2 weeks pending, but is the EDD counting that as pending for 2 weeks? Or let's say if I certify today for 2 weeks, today is when that certification shows pending, right? And we'll hopefully switch to paid for people. But if it gets stuck on pending, are they counting today as day number 1 of being stuck on pending? Or are they counting the 2 weeks that that the certifications are saying pending? I'm guessing that the EDD doesn't catch that it's been pending for 2 weeks until 2 weeks from the day those certifications say pending. I hope that makes sense. And I might be wrong on that. The advice seems to be, if you can, to wait 2 weeks from the day the certification first says pending. But if you don't want to wait those 2 weeks, then you would either need to call the EDD, and the quarterly review is something that's pretty easy for them to fix and to remove that flag off your claim. Sorry, lost my train of thought. Oh my goodness, guys, what is wrong with me? I didn't have enough coffee before I came on today. All right, the thought totally lost my head. Oh, so if you can't wait the 2 weeks to see if it does automatically switch, then you would still need to call. I think that's all I was going to say. All right, Anne says, my balance refilled today and I certified and now pending. It's somewhat normal to stay pending up to 72 hours. So I would actually imagine that by later tonight, maybe after 10 p.m., it should switch to paid. If not, maybe tomorrow morning or by Wednesday. If by Wednesday it hasn't switched to paid, your options are kind of to wait that two weeks to see if it automatically is paid conditionally, or to call the EDD. And hopefully, since a lot of the claims have been paid on those conditional payments, hopefully it'll be easier to get through to the EDD without needing any extra services. Amanda says, my certification date keeps disappearing and reopen claim button pops up. Unfortunately, that's not a pending issue. And that is happening to some people. And those people are having to call the EDD every 2 weeks to get that fixed. And other than that, I don't have a suggestion on how to fix that. Oops. Okay, let's get started. It says, keep a notebook where you applied with as much info as you can. You can also do it in an Excel spreadsheet. Yes, if you're good with computers. This way, if EDD asks where you applied, you can send them the info. Yeah, so, and I haven't talked about this yet on this live. If you're going to keep track in a notebook, these are the 3 things at minimum that I would recommend keeping in the notebook. 1, the date of your work search activity. That can be updating your resume. That can be telling a friend that you're looking for work and to please keep you in mind. Whatever date, that could be actually applying for a job. So whatever date you did the work search activity. So for example, Sunday, July 25th, let people on Shelly's Millions live stream know that I'm a car detailer and I work in the San Gabriel Valley, and I can go to their house to detail their car. So the activity that you did, and then the outcome of the activity. So one person said they were interested, but they live too far away. Outcome. Somebody else said that they will DM me for my contact information. Something like that. P.S. guys, though, don't be sending your personal information to strangers on the internet. But would that count as a work search activity? Yes. So the date, what the activity was, or where you applied, or what you did that counts as a work search activity, and the outcome of that. Those are the things at minimum I would keep in the notebook. Sean says, instead of waiting, call. Best solution. Why wait? Easy fix, like you said. Yeah, and hopefully it's going to be easier to call and get through now that not as many people are pending. That's my hope. The Reyes family says, you're looking for work in the city of Downey. Y'all better back me up. The Reyes family, you are backed up. Congratulations. You have just completed 1 work search activity, but now this will be for next week's or the week after, whenever you certify for the week that contains the 25th. That counts. What kind of work? The Reyes family, work that pays a lot of money. Yeah, so that totally counts. And I've just acknowledged it. You have video proof, should they ever need it, that you let me know that we're friends, and that you just let your friend know, and your other friends in the chat, you just let us know that you are looking for work. Anne is looking for a remote job. And I went on jcpenney.com, like the clothing retailer, and the last time I looked, so if you do look online and you want to like legitimately find a remote job, I scrolled to the bottom, and under careers section, JCPenney was actually hiring remote jobs. It's probably customer service, but the good thing about customer service is like it usually doesn't require a lot of like prior experience. So yeah, and then what else did I want to say about that? I did a video, I erased it, that includes one of my viewers shared a couple of places where you can look for remote work. You looked on JCPenney and couldn't find anything. Okay, well that counts as a work search, Anne. And then, so this is the second work search because you also let us know that you're looking for a remote job. And I think I said Pacoima, but you're in Pacifica. Pacifica. Anyway, okay, you guys are all looking. Oh, beautiful gems. I bet you could find something real easy. Customer service or customer relations. You might be, Claimer is actually hiring. Okay, let's see. All right. Oh, Ernie, you're an AC repairman. If you're in a different state, but man, I just got what did I buy? I bought this mini split. Ugh, can we see it? I don't know. Nope, I don't know how to do this. All right, well that's not working. Anyway, if it ever breaks, I'll let you know. Maybe you can walk me through fixing it. Okay. Okay. Bing says the EDD rep helped me to skip the reopen my claim process, helping to take it out last April of this year. Will this pose problems, affect my eligibility now? What's best for me to do? No, that shouldn't mess with your claim. That actually keeps you on the extension through the week ending September 4th. If you don't qualify for a new claim, and for a long time, I was actually recommending calling and having the rep help you file a new claim. Ruby certified today and listed 3 jobs for both weeks, and both weeks are paid. That is awesome. Okay. Rich says he doesn't get the vibe that I'm a Trump supporter. I don't want to get too much into politics. I will say this. I named the channel Shelly's Millions about finance. Oftentimes Republicans protect big money better, but the kind of big money they're talking, that's not even like millions of dollars. The kind of money that they protect are like multi-million dollars and like billionaires. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Shields says, look at what your balance was and you certified and then checking. I think you guys are trying to help Anne. All right. And Anne's helping Michael. Okay, it looks like a lot of you guys are having trouble and you don't want to call. So let's do this one more time. In the description of this video, you can use the option find your rep, which will help you find your assembly member. Email your assembly member and make sure to use the words financial hardship. So say, dear blah, blah, blah. I think a lot of them actually have like EDD help forms on their websites once you get to your assembly member's website. So you could just fill out the EDD assistance form and they can help you that way. But if there's like a part to like write down what's going on, say, hi, I haven't been paid in 7 weeks. This is causing me financial hardship. Is there anything that you can help me? Is there any way that you can help me get paid faster? Hannah Living Blessed, good morning. You're pretty sure you were certifying for the last 10 weeks prior to this on an old claim. What can I do to fix that? Because now it says not paid. Okay, so this comes up every once in a while. People accidentally, and it's not their fault, the EDD just brings up like the wrong claim to certify on. Either it brings up your old claim when you qualified for a new claim and you should be certifying on the new claim. And so it either will say disqualified or not paid, or you should be certifying on the new claim, but when you go to certify, it brings up the old claim. And so it gets stuck on disqualified or not paid. And as far as I know, if it says not paid or disqualified or NA, that's different than pending. So I don't think that those 3 scenarios are covered in the automatic conditional payments. I think that on those 3 issues, you would still need to call the EDD or use Ask EDD or use Contact Us or contact your assembly member to get that sorted out. Bly, Bly, you're in here all the time and I never know if I'm saying you're Billy. Is it Billy? Sometimes I'm slow with names. How should I say your name? Anyway, you're in here a lot. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right. You had success with your assembly member and it was fast. So yeah, if you reach out to your assembly member for help, oftentimes you'll get a response from them within 48 hours. And if it's an issue that they can fix, they can't fix all the issues, but if it's something they can fix, they often get you paid within 4 days. Like, it's fast if you get your assembly member. T says, thank you, but can I still be able to certify for August 1st because rent will be due, or will my employer block me? It really depends, T. Like, I know in our case, we're not reporting to the EDD when people say that they, even when people are like, I'm not ready to come back to work. And even when they do quit and tell us they're never returning, we're not in contact with the EDD about that. But it sounds like your employer did you dirty, right? And so so hopefully they aren't using their time at work to like be petty and give the EDD false information. But yes, in theory, if somehow your employer has down that you involuntarily quit, in theory, they could report that to the EDD. It would be very unlikely that they would. And if they did, you would absolutely be able to appeal that, and you would most likely win. It's something like 92 to 97% of people that appeal when their employer disagrees with giving the employee benefits. The EDD normally sides on the unemployed person's side. But I'm hoping that they won't do that and that you won't have to appeal, because the appeal process is backed up 6 months. So I would just say that it's pretty unlikely that your employer would report that to the EDD, but since it sounds like they're doing something shady already, I don't know what they'll do. It's possible that they would interrupt it. Jonathan says, you have more than 10 weeks pending. What should I do? You could try to wait a couple more weeks to see if they automatically switch to paid. So on those conditional payments, the Pay Now program, the complete rollout of that and getting everybody caught up is supposed to be completed by September 30th. You could try emailing your assembly member for help. You're welcome, T. I hope everything goes well. I hope that they don't do you dirty twice. That just sounds terrible. Oh, hi, Scotty. You're at work. How are you liking it? Okay. Edward says, you just certified today and listed 4 jobs for weeks 1 and 2. Good news, you got paid. That is great. And nice to meet you as well. Eduardo says, today your claim balance went to 0. It says maximum benefits paid. I'm regular unemployment. Will my recent be PEUC tier 2? Will I be automatically moved to PEUC augmentation tier 2? Yes, you're supposed to be. Sometimes with the EDD, for whatever reason, it gets stuck and it doesn't automatically reload your claim balance. But yes, it should happen automatically. In about 4 to 5 days, you should get a notice letting you know that you're eligible for the extension and that they have applied it to your claim. And around that time, you should be able to see the next date you can certify. And if you get those things, those are all good signs. But the claim balance will stay at 0 until you certify again in 2 weeks. All right, I'm going to do like 2 more questions and then I'm going to take off for the day. Oh, shoot, Art. Art, ask it again. Can you ask it again? Don't hate me. Poor Art. I promise it's not on purpose. Yeah, Art, I do not see how high up your question is. Oh, Delilah Bell on YouTube, post remote work almost every day. Okay, so check out Delilah Bell's channel to see some remote work search things. Hannah Living Bless also has a YouTube channel, so check her channel out. Art, I still don't see your question, so I'm so sorry, but ask it again. Emily says, I certified today, but was missing 718 to 724. Anyone else have the same issue? I got paid no issue for week 711 to 717. Emily, by any chance, are you at the end of one of your extensions? Like, is the claim balance hitting 0 right now? The other thing that you might want to look at is by any chance, is 1 week within your benefit year and the second week outside of your benefit year? Okay. Gaming with Huncho, go ahead and put your question again also. And then we've got Karen asking, unsure if I have Fed Ed claim. Okay, so you're going to go on to UI Online. You're going to go to claim history and then scroll to the right and find transactions. That should be a blue link. And then once you're there, it's going to say payment type. And so mine said extension tier 2 for this last time that I got paid back in March. And that is part of the PEUC program. But right there under program type, so claim history, then transactions, and that is where it would show the program type, and that is where it would say Fed Ed if you had a Fed Ed claim. Okay, Art. Art, ask your question again. Oh, Gaming with Huncho, I see yours now. You need help on backdating. You keep receiving the same email on saying my info is wrong, but the only thing I can think of is wrong is my address. I don't know because I use my address on my ID or your mailing. Gaming, in your case, if they keep telling you it's wrong and that you don't know what's wrong and they're not able to tell you what's wrong, that's when I would enlist the help of your assembly member. I would just say, hey, I'm trying to get this information updated and correct, but they keep telling me that it's not matching what they have on file. Is there anything that you can do to help me get this sorted out? That's what I would recommend in your situation. Okay. Edward, we did his. He said he got paid, which is awesome. Art, I still don't see your question. Oh, T, don't worry about sending a gift. I know we're all on unemployment, especially in your situation. You're having trouble. You're worried about your employer. It is the thought that counts. So thank you, and that is gift enough. Okay, Art, you certified today. You only had 450. It doesn't show that it went through. So it doesn't show that it switched to paid. Does it still show pending, or it doesn't say that the certification was received? What is it saying exactly? I would maybe wait till after 10 p.m. tonight and see if there's any changes on that. I'm so sorry, Art. So where is it saying, is it still saying you need to certify for today, but you're saying you did certify? Anyway, I need a little bit more information. I'm sorry, I'm not understanding the question. Sometimes it's hard, and I know you guys are limited in the characters that you can type in. Karen says, if I am Fed Ed, but haven't supplied work search online, will I be auto-flagged? Potentially, because Fed Ed is supposed to list those work searches online. If you are Fed Ed, please, please, please do list those searches online. I hope it won't. If you've already certified and you didn't do it, try not to worry about it and knock on wood that hopefully it won't get stuck on pending. Okay. Oh. Well, I hope you had a lovely breakfast with nice grandma at IHOP. That's cute. Oh, Art, it says certified went through. So it just hasn't been it just doesn't say paid yet. It still says pending. If so, it's somewhat common for things to stay pending on the EDD website for up to 72 hours. So when we certify on Sunday, even if it doesn't automatically switch to paid, even if it's not switched to paid by tomorrow morning, I would still maybe give it till Wednesday to see if it does automatically switch to paid. Okay, and Karen says it automatically marked. No, it auto marked. So that's on the screen though, where it chooses if you want to list it online or if you want to list it in another method, right? I think that it does automatically put no, but so next time it's probably going to automatically have it there, but then just manually switch it to where you put yes, and then hopefully it's okay. And definitely in your case, make sure to write down in a notebook or screenshots or something what you did. That way, if it does cause problems, you can say, oh, well, I was tracking in another manner. Can I go ahead and submit that to you? Or say I was tracking in another manner. Can I go ahead and put that online? Okay. Yeah, Art, I think you're going to be okay. I would expect probably it will switch to paid either by like 10 p.m. tonight or by 8 a.m. tomorrow would be my guess. Okay. Mega Dog, I'm 64 and they are requiring job search info for me too. Yeah, they are. If you were previously working, they're going to require the work search requirements now as well. And then Uncle Jack says certification asks for 3 job searches. I thought PEUC it only needed 1. No, it's all different. When I was on the PEUC extension, I definitely had to list 3 work search activities. It is, to my understanding, to my knowledge, and I'm also going to say I don't know about PUA. I don't think those notices have gone out yet to PUA. A lot of claims are going to need 3 work searches or 3 work search activities a week. It is only, to my knowledge, regular unemployment. So your first 26 weeks of unemployment benefits that you would only need to supply one work search activity a week. And maybe even that's changed now. So you should get instructions in the letter with how many work search activities you need to do. And then I also took a picture. Let's see if I can share this with you guys. We're thinking about making a video about it, but I don't know. Okay, let's see. Okay, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that. So this person had a PUE. Did you look for work? You are required to make at least 3 job contacts each week. So that is where it is going to tell you that. This is backwards for me, but I think it's not backwards for you guys. I hope it's not. Anyway, so that's where it's going to tell you that you need the 3 work searches. You're welcome, Art. I'm sorry I missed your question. I had to ask so many follow-ups. You guys, I promise that's never intentional. Oh, April says, my friend certified today, but pressed no to adding her work search. Will that affect her account? No, that's fine. So she selected no, that she's going to keep track in a different method. That should be okay unless she is Fed Ed. And most people are not Fed Ed claims. Oh, Karen. Karen's nearly 71. Happy 71 years. And that's awesome. Okay, Mickey. Oh, Mickey's 68 and we're in the same boat. You guys, you got to figure out, you guys could all pool together and you guys could start like a seniors helping see. I don't know. You guys could start some sort of business, I'm sure. Oh, Beautiful Jim says, my money does not go until September. What do I do? So you're probably still on the 2nd PEUC extension. There is a 3rd PEUC extension, and that will take you to the week ending September 4th. And they should automatically put you on that. You shouldn't need to do anything. EDD says, apply for full-time work when I've only worked part-time for years. What to do? Call or just apply for part-time work? Okay, Larry, just tell them you're applying for full-time work. Just answer yes and list your work search activities. Okay? Just tell them you're looking for full-time work. I shouldn't make that winky face. Always be honest. But yeah, they do want you guys to find full-time positions. I have a lot of employees that are in the same position. They have been, oh, thank you, T. You did not have to do that, but thank you so much. Karen says, I feel 45, but look 46. I feel a million. So I feel Shelly's a million years old is what I feel like. Okay. Yeah, Larry. Yeah, and I mean, Larry, what if you found like an awesome full-time job? What if, like, I don't know, I'm on my feet at this movie theater all the time, and I feel a million. I really do. My back hurts. And my feet hurt. Everything hurts. I'm getting old. I don't want a job on my feet anymore. But it is a full-time job. But like if I found like my dream other full-time job where I could like sit on my tuchus all day, like I would would do that. So maybe when you're looking for full-time work, maybe you'll actually find a full-time job that will be better than your part-time job. You guys are on. I really admire all of you that are still working in your late 60s and early 70s. You guys get it. Oh, 70s is the best decade. Well, then I can't wait. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna try and do. Oh, look at you guys. You guys are awesome. All right, I'm gonna do Jody's question, and then and maybe Angels, and those will be the last two for today. Jody says, I was only allowed to certify for 1 week, but I did apply 3 times and recorded on the page online. My balance is 0 now. Would that be why I could only certify? Yes, that is. And then, so from now, in your case, since you went to 0 and they only let you certify for 1 week, you actually might get to certify again this next Sunday, this coming Sunday. And then that will include the week of the 18th through the 24th and the 25th through whenever that week ends. So you might actually get to certify for 2 weeks at a time, but this very next week. Sean, thank you. Positive mental attitude, positive motivational attitude. Anyway, PMA. Kathy, you're not invisible. Shoot, Kathy, if you drop it again, I will do your question. That will be last. I said I was going to do Angel's question, and then Kathy Lynn, do yours again, and yours will be the last one of the day. Okay. Angel says, I'm on regular unemployment and just certified this morning, and it didn't say anything on how many work searches I need to look for. If it's truly just regular unemployment and not any of the extensions, to my knowledge, it is just 1. If you're on one of the extensions, it is most likely going to be 3, and you should be getting something in the mail that tells you exactly how many work searches that you need to do for your specific claim. And get this, but don't pay too much attention to it. Technically, the EDD is not going to be penalizing you or withholding benefits or anything like that until you actually receive that letter in the mail. So technically, the requirements don't really go into effect until you've received your letter. No, you guys don't send me money. Don't do it. It's fine. Thank you, though. Thank you. Kathy Lynn. Now I'm seeing your comment. Oh, shoot. Kathy Lynn, ask the comment again, and then I got to get going. Shoot. Where's Kathy Lynn's comment? Okay. I'm going to do another question until I try and find hopefully Kathy Lynn asks hers again. And I've been doing this almost 2 hours this morning. Selena says, missed your last certification. Was the 11th, was paid for 1 week. 2nd week remains on pending. Certified last night. Now those 2 weeks are pending as well. It usually switches to paid by now. And the EDD, so in your case, the EDD should be soon realizing that you're pending for more than 2 weeks. And so you should be able to, so I got distracted because I see Kathy Lynn in there. The EDD should be catching you as somebody who's been pending more than 2 weeks and automatically pay you on those conditional terms. And yeah, that is a bit long for you to be pending. So hopefully that switches to paid soon. Okay, Kathy Lynn says, been pending since April, said I needed to refile, but then they sent me a letter showing they refiled for me. Said if it was incorrect, I didn't need to do anything. Okay, yes, that is correct. Pending since April, that could actually be a quarterly review from April. So the last quarterly review was in April, and then now we're experiencing them in July. It has nothing to do with your quarter. It's the EDD's quarter. However, you should definitely be in the group that is automatically paid under the conditional payments, the Pay Now program. But since you haven't been paid yet, and some people were, if you don't want to wait to find out if you're going to be automatically paid because you've been waiting since April, my best advice for you is use the link in the description below to reach out to your assembly member. Let them know. So it's the rep that says the link that says find your rep to find your assembly member. Email them, let them know you're experiencing financial hardship since you haven't been paid since April. Oh, sometimes I answer the questions a bunch, multiple times. Okay. All right, guys. I think that's going to be it. T, you're very welcome. You guys, I hope that all of your claims get paid again soon. If you haven't already, please take a moment and like the video. Oh, shoot. Fan club, we're going to do yours. The reopen claim button is normally a glitch unless you haven't certified for like 4 weeks or more. And then that's when it should really be there. If you return to work and you weren't certifying for a bit, that's when it would be there. I need to take a screenshot of this, guys. Okay. And unfortunately, to get that glitch removed, you would need to call the EDD. Program type, I see that. Let's end on this. Okay. So you're going to log onto your EDD account. You're going to go to claim history. And then I've already gone past there, so I can't show you that part again. Then to the right, you scroll to the right and it'll say transactions. And then that's a blue link that you click. And then right there, it says program type. For me, my last payment was on extension tier 2. That's a form of PEUC. If you were on FedEd, that's where it would say FedEd. Okay. All right, you guys. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Thank you so much for watching Shelly's Millions. I'll see you next time.